it's Michele from Scrap Secrets, and welcome to card number 2 in the Halloween card series. Today we're going to be making this card using some Sassy and Crafty and Rabbit Hole Designs products. So I'm showing you here what we're using. We're using the Rabbit Hole Designs stencil called Circle Illusions. We're also going to be using 2 stamp sets from Sassy and Crafty. I only show you the one here. That's Wicked Good. We're going to use the Sentiment from Halloween Fun, which I'll show you in a little bit. I used some Distress Oxides, and then what I didn't show you there are the color medium that we're going to be using. So I showed you the pixie spray as well because I took the stencil over to the side, sprayed it with pixie spray in a box, and that is drying for a couple of minutes while I ink up the images. This is a piece of Canson XL watercolor paper, and I'm stamping the images in Catherine Pooler Midnight ink because we are going to be doing some watercoloring. I wasn't sure what I was going to do at first. I thought I was going to use Copics, because what other medium do I usually use? That's almost always what I use. However, I was cleaning and reorganizing my craft room, which means that yes, I am getting ready for a craft room tour. So I know I've been saying that forever, but I really am. I'm really organizing and putting things away. And I found the Derwent Inktense pencils, and I thought, let me use them. So you'll see them in a little bit. The images are stamped, and now I'm going to let them dry a little bit. The ink dries pretty quickly, but I like to give it a little bit of time before I go and do any techniques with it. Oh, the stencil from the Rabbit Hole Designs, which is amazing. This Circle Illusion stencil is so cool. It has pixie spray on the back that I used, and I let it dry for a couple minutes. Now it's tacky, but not where it's going to stick to my paper too much. Taped it down with some washi tape just to the Tim Holtz glass mat, or glass media mat, and now I am applying Distress Oxide in Seedless Preserves as well as Chipped Sapphire. And I am using my amazing Rabbit Hole Designs cottontail brushes. I love these brushes so much. These are like my new favorite crafting tool. And I'm just going to lay down a layer of color, and then I'm going to go back and blend them. You can see I got a little bit of too much of a dark color right there, and then I'm going to go back in with the Seedless Preserves and try to blend it out. I love the way this turned out, and this is a very intricate stencil, which is why I use the pixie spray. It really, really helps. I only had one little slight place where it didn't go too well, and it was right in the middle. You can probably see it there. It's just like a little faint, like purplish blue line. So now that was the back reveal. I love the reveal of the stencils. And now I am just taking some of the Derwent pencils and coloring in some of the darker parts of the image. So the first one that I used is, I believe it's called Ink Black. That was the black that I used on the witch's hat. And then what I did was I just took my Tim Holtz Distress Sprayer, sprayed some water on the Tim Holtz glass media mat. And you could see that on that paintbrush, which I probably should really take that tag off. I don't know why I still have it on, but I do. I dipped the brush in water, and there was some yellow paint on it. So I just took my cloth, my microfiber cloth, and wiped it off, and it was fine. Now these are different than using regular watercolors, I feel like. So I just kind of pulled the water in. These for me are much, much easier to use than the watercolors. And I don't know why I haven't used these in a long time. I think I might have only used these once. And I love them. I really think I got a good result on this, and I had fun using them. So you're probably going to see more projects using the Derwent Inktense pencils from me. So now I am coloring onto the One Witch's dress in Fuchsia. So I think that mine was a set of 10, I believe. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it was probably about 10, because 10 or 12 pencils, because I have a couple that I didn't use today. And I think that I guess they do have more, so I'm going to have to find out if they do, because I really like these. The pencil goes on very nicely, and this isn't meant to be a review of it, but I'm really enjoying these pencils. I just thought that they were very easy to use. As somebody who is not great with colored pencils, I found it very, very simple to use these ones. So the next color that I used, I'm sorry, I have them all out on my desk and I am just trying to find them. That was Deep Indigo. So that's that like purplish blue there, which I thought matched very nicely with the chipped sapphire in the background. And I thought that the fuchsia matched nicely with the Seedless preserves in the background. Even though they're not exactly the same tone, I thought that I wanted to try to keep it in the same color palette. So just pulling out the color there. So while you're just watching me color, okay, the next color was, this is just a watercolor pencil from Hobby Lobby. It's whatever their Hobby Lobby brand is, and it's just a light purple. I didn't have a light purple because like I said, there's only 10 or 12 of the colored pencils in there, so there's not a huge choice of options. You definitely can tell the quality difference between the two. It was much, much easier with the Derwent Inktense pencils, and the color is a lot brighter. I like that a lot of times the watercolors will fade back, or they'll be a lot less vibrant when you put them on, and especially with this background, I wanted something that was nice and vibrant. So I'm just going back and forth using those colors. That's the Deep Indigo, the Fuchsia. I used the light purple from the Hobby Lobby brand, and then the Skin Tone. And this is called Baked Earth. It was really the only color in there. I even looked at the Hobby Lobby brand, and I believe I have 36 colored pencils from them, and there really wasn't anything that I thought looked like a good skin tone, but this turned out really, really pretty. It had a little bit of tan in it, but it wasn't too close to the blonde, so when I did the blonde hair on one, it didn't blend in too much. And like I said, it was very easy to pull these colors out, and I found them very, very easy to use as someone who is definitely not great with watercolors. So while you're watching me color, I hope that you guys are enjoying this video series. I'm having fun making it. I know it's only the second card that I've done, but I don't traditionally do Halloween cards. And I got a lot of Halloween stamps this year. I actually took these over to a lot of these stamps over to the girls on Thursday, and we made some projects with them, and they loved them, especially these Sassy and Crafty little witches. Madeline was obsessed. She colored both of them. Okay, so back to the card for 1 second, and the green that we're using is called Apple Green, and the blue that I used for the witch on the right's eyes is called Sea Blue. So because the brush was a little bit bigger, I kind of colored outside of the lines a little bit, so I just had to go back in and I just kind of blotted it away. You really can't tell in the end. And then the yellow, which was the only yellow that we had, is called Sun Yellow. So I did that for her crown, and then the witch on the right's hair. And then I might as well tell you while I still have all the pencils out, the hair on the witch on the left is called, the color I use is called Bark. So it was a dark brown, almost black, but I didn't want to use black because I had used the black on the witch's hat, and I thought it was a little bit too gray, and I didn't want that much gray. I wanted it to be a pretty brown color, so I used the Bark color. So like I said, I hope you're enjoying this series. I hope that it's giving you some inspiration for cards, giving you motivation to make cards. I am also working on my Christmas series. I'm much further along with that, which kind of feels weird to do a Halloween and a Christmas series at the same time, but there's a lot of Halloween goodness coming up. I have a card that will be part of a hop that'll be on the 1st and the 31st of October, which is coming up very quickly, so I have to get my card started for that, for the first one. And then every Sunday you will see a post from me, and then there will also be a post every single day from another artist. So I will do a video on the 1st talking about that, so you'll learn more about that. There is also a special project which I'm super excited about, a collaboration with Courtney Krieber, and then some other Christmas stuff coming up. So So I fussy cut the images out. I'm pretty big on doing that lately. I'm kind of surprised because I usually use my brother's scan and cut, but I've been a little bit lazy in that, and I don't feel like turning it on, especially for just 2 items. So I fussy cut it and then took a black marker and went around the edges. And now I'm using the Sentiment Hocus Pocus from the Halloween Fun set, and I thought it was awesome that it fit so nicely in that bubble up there. And I was turning the paper around till I found a bubble where it would fit nicely, and then I would still be able to put the characters on. Now I'm using my MFT On Point Precision Glue to just glue the characters down. And since this is watercolor paper and we added water to it, it did curl up a little bit. I will put a glass block on top of it to hold it down for a minute while I work on some other things or work on the card base. So just gluing the other one down again with the MFT Precision On Point glue. I am loving this. This is another new great find that I recently found, and I love it. Now I am taking my Signo Uniball white pen and going over their eyes. So there are a couple of dots in their eyes. The witch that's on the left now, her eyes are actually in the shape of a heart, and then she's got a little white dot underneath of it. So I just went back in with my Signo pen, and I thought it just added a little bit of something. Now I'm going to take my ATG and run the glue over it and then stick the top on, and that's it. I'm done. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you again real soon for another video.